Okay, Garden of Salvation Raid Challenge 4. Unlike the other previous encounters, this is an actual challenge. Here is your mission objective. Once anyone dunks motes into any pillar, that pillar then needs to be completely filled up, meaning it needs 30 motes dunked into it total within a 10-second window, or you fail the challenge. With that in mind, our real goal here is to have 3 guardians, each with 10 motes, collectively dunking into one pillar, all at the same time within a 10-second window. Now, I'm sure there are multiple methods out there right now, but here is how my team got this done. First of all, we split the entire fire team into 2 groups of 3. So 3 guardians on the left side of the island and 3 guardians on the right side. Then, each side should have 2 teams. Team A, which will consist of 2 guardians, and Team B, which is just 1 lonely guardian. Are you with me so far? So Team A on the left has 2 guardians, Team B on the left has 1 guardian, Team A on the right has 2 guardians, and Team B on the right has 1 guardian. So when the boss has his glowing shoulder and glowing leg appear, we are going to shoot both of them at the same time and have both Team A left side and Team A right side teleport in at the same time. The goal of both Team A's is to have each guardian pick up 7 motes. Now, you might think that you'll be doing your team a favor if you pick up more than 7 motes if you're on Team A. Oh, I'm so helpful, I picked up 10 motes. Do not do this. For the very first time that Team A gets teleported in, just pick up 7 motes each. I will explain why later. Oh, and try to also time it so that both members of Team A pick up their 7th mote at the exact same time. The reason for that is to make sure that both members of Team A are staying near each other on their overall mote timer, which I will get into a little bit later. Both members of Team A should be talking to each other pretty regularly, and when they both have 6 motes each, they should communicate that to one another and then coordinate their final picking up of the 7th mote. Okay, when you've done this, immediately call to the guardians back home on the island to have you teleported back. When Team A is teleported back, again with each guardian holding 7 motes, it is now Team B's turn to run into both open portals. Remember, Team B for both sides is just 1 person. I won't lie to you, there is a ton of pressure on the lonely members of Team B because they have to move lightning quick, my guys. They have to move quicker than through a goose. So whoever your most confident fire team members are, make them Team B. Or if you have a great power weapon like a grenade launcher, then get in there and spam your power ammo fast. Or you could make sure in advance that both members of Team B each have a great roaming super that they can pop right when they go in. Team B, again, needs to pick up 10 motes as quickly as they can and then immediately call out to get teleported back to the island. Right when Team B is sent back, again with 10 motes in his or her possession. Now Team A, remember they should still have 7 motes each. They need to go back in to the now open portal. Their job is to now pick up 3 motes each, which should give them 10 motes total each. You following me? You see how this is working? Very good. When Team A now has 10 motes each, they call instantly to get sent back, and when they do get sent back, you ideally now have 3 guardians at the pillar, each with 10 motes. You stuff that junk right into the Vex Tower trunk hard and fast, and you should have filled the entire pillar in under 10 seconds. The good news is you will know if you fail if it says challenge failed on your HUD. But if you've done this correctly, since we are doing both pillars at the same time, they should both be filled right about now, and the damage phase begins. You do your damage to the boss. Ideally, you do at least 50% damage overall, and then when damage phase is over, quickly try to rebuild as much of the home island as you can, and then rinse and repeat. Do everything all over again exactly the way I laid out. Do your second damage phase and murder the boss. Easier said than done. I know. Let me go ahead and both answer some questions that might come up, as well as give you some tips that might make this challenge a bit easier overall. Okay, question 1. What about the annoying shielded enemies that pop up during the encounter? Who is gonna kill those? Well, about that. The shielded enemies normally don't spawn in until Guardians begin dunking motes. And because your motes are all getting dunked pretty much at the exact same time, the shielded enemies never really have time to spawn in. So no one deals with these shielded enemies because if you do this correctly, there are none. Question 2. Why is Team A picking up exactly 7 motes each? Why not 10? So when you pick up motes in the boss fight, take a look at the bottom left of your HUD. You have a timer. When that timer expires, all motes that you might be carrying, no matter how many or how few, vanish. But every time you pick up a new mote, your timer will refresh. So the reason that Team A will collect 7 motes each is because when they go back in a second time to get more motes to bring them each to 10, they are refreshing their mote timer in the process. If, in theory, one member of Team A were to pick up 10 motes right from the very beginning, right from the first time they run in, there is a very high chance that their mote timer is going to expire before they end up dunking, which means they lose all their motes and your entire plan is now effed up. So yeah, you could pick up 8 motes the first time you go in. You could pick up 9, but I think it's easier to just stick to a number that isn't very close to 10, i.e. 7, just in case you pick up extra motes by accident. Does that make sense? It better, cause I'm moving on. Question number 3. What loadout should you run? Izanagi's Burden all day, just like the regular raid encounter. I get it though, not everyone has that gun. Well, if you don't have the Izanagi, God help you, but Whisper of the Worm can also work, and beneath that, the Darcy can as well. If you're using Izanagi, pair it with a grenade launcher, which can help you wipe enemies fast when gathering motes. If you're using Whisper of the Worm, maybe try to pair it with a full auto shotgun for fast ad clearing. Loadout-wise, someone should absolutely be running a Weapons of Light Titan bubble, and even though it may seem redundant, a Well of Radiance for the Warlock. Doing this challenge does not give you a lot of time for rebuilding the island, so trust me when I tell you that you are probably going to be spending a lot of time touching Vex Milk as you get closer to the damage phase. That's where the Well of Radiance comes in. Now the Titan bubble is your best bet for high DPS against the boss, but the Well of Radiance is going to help you survive during the damage phase if you need to stand in the Vex Milk. Someone also needs to bring Oppressive Darkness grenades. Ideally, it's the Titan running the bubble because they're already a Void class. Now, a Hunter with Tether also definitely will work over Oppressive Darkness, but the Darkness can do it by itself in a pinch. Finally, I am recommending the 1 Tether strategy for DPS, which if you don't know, goes a little bit like this. When it's time for damage phase, 1 cross will appear in front of the boss. Whatever color the cross is, you will be damaging the boss from the opposite color pillar. So if the cross is orange, you'll eventually wind up damaging the boss at which pillar? Yes, the blue pillar. Very good. For the 1 tether strat, 3 guardians link up the tether to the cross while the other 3 guardians go over and prepare at the opposite color pillar. If you have a Titan with Weapons of Light, and again you should, or a Warlock with a Radiant Well, they should be setting those supers up at the DPS pillar while the other team is tethering the cross. Don't wait for them to finish tethering the cross, you jabroni. Have that trash done in advance, so when they are done tethering the cross, everybody is ready to do damage right away. The boss will pop up into the air 1 time, but that should give you plenty of time to free the beast and do a lot of damage, especially if in advance you all put on as many enhanced Tether Defender mods as you can. This is pretty key for the 1 tether strat. Since you're all doing damage very close to a Vex pillar, you should get the extra damage from these armor mods and make your DPS way better overall. You got it? Good. If you're scratching your head, I promise it'll feel easier when you're actually in the middle of attempting to get it done. Just remember, first team gets 7 motes apiece, second team of 1 guy only gets 10, team 1 goes back in, gets 3 more, pushing them up to 10, come back home, all dunk together, DPS the boss, rinse and repeat, easy double loot. Trust me, you can do this. You may ruin a few friendships and someone might get choked in the process, but you can do this. Your biggest obstacles are going to be both members of Team A coordinating their 7th mote pickup and the lone member of Team B potentially not moving quick enough. You're gonna need a lot of communication, and please don't be afraid to use power ammo or special ammo repeatedly to clear the ads as fast as you can. Or if you're the lonely guy on Team B, don't be afraid to use a roaming super in order to help you wipe 10 enemies solo in the blink of an eye. Well, I hope you found this guide helpful. I know I didn't make a guide on raid challenge number 3 because, well, it was the easiest thing in the world. Kinda felt, and still do, that I didn't really need to make one, but challenge 4 is actually challenging, so here we are. If you enjoyed today's content, please let me know by clicking the like button. That helps me determine what kind of content I should make moving forward. If you have any additional tips for this challenge that might be different than mine, please feel free to share them down below in the comment section in a non-debaggy fashion. As always, if you're new here, please click the big red subscribe button and you will instantly feel better about yourself. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.